Ready to manifest the money, business, and life of your dreams? Do you wish you had more ease and flow in your business, your finances, your relationships, and everything else? There's a way to manifest simply, easily, and effectively without exhaustion, and I'm here to show you how. Hey there, I'm Elise McDowell, money mindset mentor and seven-figure CEO. And in this podcast, I will teach you how to reshape your money mindset, manifest consistent money, increase your business sales, transform your self-concept, and create the life of your dreams through the power of your mind. I'm here to help you go all in on you so you can go big in everything you're here to do. Let's get into the show. Hello. Welcome back to day 2 of the One Deal a Day Black Friday week series. Today, we are on day 2, and I want to talk to you about the journal practice that took me to 30K months. And the reason I'm talking about that topic is because today's deal is called the Journal Bundle. And what is inside this bundle are 3 different digital products of mine. My super popular course, Script Yourself Rich, which literally teaches you all of the tools and techniques about scripting that I used when I went to 30K months, and how I leveraged the energy, how I built momentum, how I created massive results in such a fast and very, very rapid way. And I take you through that inside this course. It's like my most popular manifestation course, mini course, and it has gotten people insane results. So the bundle alone is worth it just for that. But then you also get 2 other products, which is the Soul-Led CEO Business Planner, which is a massive planner filled with prompts, questions, and exercises to help you really map out your super successful soul-led business for 2025. Well, actually, it's for any year. I recommend doing it every single year to help you tap in and get clear on what you want to do in your business this year, where you want to take your business, how you want to lead your business, what kind of energy you want to embody. And then I've spun it so that you're doing it from soul, right? Because we're all about leading soul-led businesses. So this is an amazing planner if you have a business and you want to make sure that you're going into 2025 super clear on what you're doing and who you want to be and how you want to show up. And then the last thing that's also in this bundle is the Journal Prompts for Mega Success workbook. And it's filled with like 60 plus journal prompts on how to be the most successful version of yourself in your business, in your finances, and in your life. And I love it because they're all different, but they're all related to journaling, all related to writing, all related to creating the reality that you want. So if that sounds like a bundle that you want to get your hands on, make sure you go to the link in the show notes below, the Black Friday sale week link, click that and sign up for the bundle while it is 55% off for the next couple of hours. Now, let's get into today's content, the journal practice that took me to 30K months. So you will have heard me talk about this many times on basically a 3-month period where I went from total dysfunction with my finances, really up and down with money, to hitting 30K months, which was like the highest amount of money I'd made at the time. And the reason I always talk about this particular point was because that was the breakthrough. That was the pinnacle. That was the time when I really changed shit around. That was the time that I actually broke through the dysfunction, the limiting beliefs, the blocks, the assumptions that were holding me back, and I accelerated into a new level, a new self-concept, a new version of me, and massive money. Now, I make a lot more than that per month now, but the reason I always talk about this point was because it was the breakthrough point, right? I haven't had like big breakthroughs since then because I've continued to build on what I did then. I never want to go back to that place where I just kind of let things go, run on autopilot, and kind of lift it up to whatever my mood was at the time to take me back to the dysfunction that I had. I will not let that happen. So I am very, very particular, very adamant, very disciplined, very consistent with my mindset practice. I'm very, very consistent because it's the most fucking important thing to me to make sure that I stay on track. Everybody thinks like, if I just get it, if I just have the breakthrough, then everything will change. No, honey, that's not how it works. Yes, you might have a breakthrough. You might manifest a huge sum of money. You might manifest the perfect relationship that you want. But if you don't maintain and improve that thought process, that self-concept that you did initially, to get the result, you're going to go back into the old dominant thinking. I've seen it happen time and time again. It happened to me a few times before I truly committed and truly went through the breakthrough. So I want you to understand how important it is to do this work. It's super important. That's why when I said yesterday, in yesterday's episode, to saturate your mind, and I said it 3 times. I didn't say saturate. I said saturate, saturate, saturate. I didn't say that for dramatic effect. I said it because that's how fucking adamant you need to be about saturating your mind with the new thoughts, right? With the new assumptions, with the new beliefs. You have to be that adamant. And so for me, at the time when I was wanting to break through and truly overcome dysfunction with my money, I committed to a daily money mindset practice. I committed every single day to journaling out what I wanted my reality to be. And I made sure that I did not get up from wherever I was, whether I was in my bedroom or I was in my car or I was at the dining table writing in my journal. I did not get up until I felt completely different. I didn't get up. I wouldn't allow myself to get up if I was in the old self concept. There was no fucking way I was getting up from that seat. And in the journal bundle, inside Script Yourself Rich, you'll see everything that I did and how adamant I was and how much I focused and like what kind of energy I came at it with. But when I did this, when I committed to it and I made sure I did not leave the room or leave what I was doing until I shifted, that's how the momentum started. That's how shit started changing, because I wouldn't get up until I was different. Right? Until I was different, I would not get up. It was my absolute priority. It was the number one thing. It was the sole focus for me to shift this. It was that important to me. I wanted to get it, right? And so I prioritized it. Yes, I had my practice, and I always say like start with 10 minutes a day. But if you're serious about this and you really want radical changes, you've got to saturate. So for me, I was doing this like multiple hours a day. Some days it was like, I felt like half the day I was just writing in my journal. I was just visualizing, making sure I was there. I was super in the zone, super in that new self concept, super saturated in the experience that I wanted to be having, which was absolute peace and freedom and fullness with money. I wanted absolute wealth, absolute abundance. I wanted to feel rich. I wanted to feel at peace with money, and I wanted to feel wildly abundant. I didn't want to feel lack anymore. I didn't want to feel uncertainty. I didn't want to feel worried. I just wanted complete peace with money. And so those were the dominant experiences that I prioritized as I was doing this. So I'll tell you exactly what I did, but just letting you know my thought process behind it as I was coming into it and why it was so important that I stuck to it. Okay. So going into the breakdown of what I did, it was very simple. I got out my journal, and it's an A4 size journal. And what I would do is I would start writing new beliefs, new affirmations, new assumptions, any kind of thing that I wanted to think or feel about money. And I would write it really, really quickly down on the page. For me, it was almost like a stream of consciousness, but I would always start off with some kind of sentence like, money loves me, or I get paid in my sleep, or money is flowing to me right now. And then I would just let myself go wild. I would let myself just be free with it and choose what I was feeling in the moment and what I wanted to experience. But every single line was a new experience that I wanted to be having with money. It was a new belief. It was a new feeling. It was a new idea. It was something that I wanted to have with money. And I wrote it in the present tense as if it was happening right now. And then as I wrote it, because I would write it quickly, I wasn't like taking my time with making sure the words are perfect. It was like absolute scribbling. It would actually build up energy within me. I would feel myself being activated within. It was like my heart would burst wide open. And I talk about this inside Script Yourself Rich. And it would just activate me, and I would feel so alive. I would feel high vibe. I would feel on fire. One of my favorite quotes from Neville Goddard was something like, you must be on fire with love for your desire to see it manifest. And I was on fire. I was on absolute fire for the life that I wanted. And as I wrote it out, I would feel into it until I was just like at an absolute pinnacle of needing to almost express this energy in some kind of way. Like it would make me feel like I wanted to go for a run, or just I wanted to really just saturate in this experience of feeling into it. But usually then I would move into the visualization, and I would let the visualization come to me And that came after a while. It didn't happen initially when I first started. Obviously, I had to bring the images to mind, but then after a while, the images started coming to me. The scenes started coming to me. The experience started coming to me. And that's when I knew I was like hitting other realms of, I don't even know where I went with that. But it was like I was working in the 5D. I was working on some other level, some other plane. And this is why it was so fast at how shit started changing. Because I was working at a level most people don't work at. I was operating from a place, a space, a clear way of thinking, a clear way of feeling. I was an absolute channel. So that's why it came in so quickly and why things changed so rapidly, because I was in this energy. So for you, what I recommend you to do, if you want to start doing this, you have to be serious about it, okay? You can't just like half-ass it and then expect to have massive results that other people have had when you're not really doing it. You're not actually doing the work. You have to commit to it. Pick something to do if you don't like journaling, but commit to it every single day and do not get up, do not move, do not do a thing until you feel different, until you feel like the person that you want to feel like as a rich, wealthy, happy, fully in love, blissed out version of yourself. You don't move until you feel like that. I cannot emphasize that enough. Do not move until you feel differently. And then open your journal. I recommend A4 size. Don't cheat here. You want a lot of page space to write, and you need to write at least 2 pages. At least 2. Okay? I would do this every day. At least 2 until you feel activated. It shouldn't take more than 2 for you to start feeling stuff changing. If it's not happening, you need to keep writing, because clearly the patterns are very strong. So you have to keep going. You have to keep going until you are feeling shifts happening within. And it might be just really subtle initially. And if it is, that's absolutely okay. You keep going, right? If it doesn't feel like it's working, you keep going. If it is working, you keep going. No matter what, you keep going. Even when everything is starting to turn around and you can see the results coming at you left, right, and center, you keep going. You don't let up. You keep going and you keep building onto what you're already doing. You don't then stop and think, oh, now I've got it. Everything is working out perfectly and I don't have to do this again. No, you keep going. Do you get it now? You keep going. You don't stop. You don't stop. You don't let up. Because if you keep doing this, not only will you achieve the goals that you want to achieve, but you will surpass them in ways that you could never have imagined before. And you will be playing at levels that you have never experienced before and never knew were possible for you to experience. But that cannot happen if you do not continue to do it, right? It always adds up. It always builds on itself, but it cannot continue building if you don't keep maintaining it, right? So there's a stage where, first of all, we're just trying to get to the place that we want to get to. We're just trying to get to the goal. We're trying to get to the level of stability, the level of normalcy, the level of overflow that we want to get to. But that's not where we stop once we get it. We will get it. You will get it. But once you get there, you don't stop. You keep going. You keep adding on. You keep building up. You keep making this into a machine. You keep making this into a possibility, a reality where you will never ever go back to the scarcity, the inconsistency, the sporadic money, anything that didn't feel good, that you didn't want, you never go back there, right? So you keep doing it, you keep on it, and you don't let up. That is the journal practice that took me to 30K months. I can't wait for you to try it out. If you want help with that and you want the full blow-by-blow, step-by-step breakdown of how I did that myself and all the different exercises and techniques and tools I did inside Script Yourself Rich, which is inside the journal bundle, plus the planner and the journal prompts, I highly recommend you snap that deal up before it disappears at 8 a.m. PST tomorrow. And I will be back here again tomorrow to discuss day 3 and the deal of the day I'll be running then. If you're not yet a subscriber, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you enjoyed this episode, come over to Instagram and tag me and let me know your thoughts about it, or join us inside the Girls That Manifest Facebook community. It's free to join, and I will see you tomorrow.